Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Yes, people. What is going on? Welcome. It is Friday evening. You know, we had to bring you something special, and it's a link up that should have happened on our channel or on his channel a long time ago. But you know, scheduling always gets in the way. But we're here, man. Matisse, big up your damn self, bro. What's going on, bro?
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure. Actually, I have had you on my channel, all three of you together. Do you remember? It was a madness.
Yeah,
it was one of my favorite shows. It was years ago.
I do remember.
And yeah, it was so all the different accents, Callum doing his accents there. Yeah, it was mad. It was mad. So
yeah. You got a good memory still. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
That was like my first year in YouTube. I was just doing bare lives because of lockdown, and we managed to get all three of you on the same time. It was mad because I was like, I need all three of you.
That was a good show, but yeah, no, big up as always, G. Big up the chat as well. Make sure you smash the like button. I know obviously it was late scheduling, so big up to everyone who's already here. We will be back for the Friday call-in show a little bit later as well, guys. But we had to bring you this because it's the battle of the bottom feeders. That's what they're calling it, right?
Yeah, they're saying the mid-off. That's what they're calling it, bro.
Mid-off.
Yeah, we're not getting no coverage. Like nobody wants to talk about this game. This game doesn't exist. Everybody's focused on Arsenal, Man United. We're proper bottom feeders. We weren't even live last Sunday. It was Newcastle Fulham race for the Champions League. So I think Tottenham will join us too soon as well. Do you know what I mean? The way they're playing. So yeah, man. I don't know what's going on this season, but everybody just wants to play around in 10th. So it's where it is.
Well, look, if you look who's sitting top, then you realize someone's just put some kind of hoodoo on the thing in it, and it'll correct itself next year, hopefully. In fact, I hope it corrects itself by the end of the season, if I'm being honest with you. But I mean, and right now, bro, before we get into the actual game, just quickly, I mean, this is Brock Pocket versus Super Rich Super Daddy, isn't it? Like, you man are just spending money. We're over here begging if we can just have a little piece of, you know, a little piece of something. Like, we're starving out here. You lot, furthermore, you ain't even finished one meal. They're putting another meal on your
wonderful
table.
Meal, man. I always say the analogy, those American films when, you know, the kid is late for school and the nanny has made a massive spread and there's food all over the table, and he just takes a little grape, or she just takes a little grape and leaves all the pancakes, leaves all the bacon, all the eggs, everything, stack up waffles.
I hate that.
That's us.
That
Yeah,
winds me up. That winds
me up. It triggers me.
But they don't even take a grape. They take a sip of the orange juice and say they've got to go. And you're like, hold on a minute. You don't see all the food. What are you doing?
Ungrateful, fam. Obviously, it's a daily occurrence for them. So that's right now. We're the ones with the food just constantly there. Do you know what I mean? Just wonderful meals. Transfer strategy for a lot of people is puzzling right now, but at least in this window, I can say it's very clearly trying to bring the average age down under 23s. We do need to make a lot of sales. But yeah, man, it's mad. I can barely keep up with it, to be honest. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, it truly is, man. I don't know what you lot are doing, but I don't even know if I'll say I'm jealous, because with all due respect, I don't see a strategy yet, but I love the intent. Yeah, because there's nothing that Chelsea can say about the owners in terms of their intent. The intent is there. Whether it works or not is to be seen. All transfer strategies, you don't quite know if it's going to work or not. But there's intent. You, man, are going for bad boys. Nkunku, bad boy. Do you know what I mean? From what we know of certain of the other players, maybe it's a little bit of speculation from the club they play for, but they are getting a lot of praise. You're not buying any bums. There ain't no idiots. But even João Felix, you overspent for a loan. But what baller if you getting balling? Do you know what I'm saying? So I love the intent. That's all I can say. Like, I'm jealous of the intent. That's what I can say, because you lot are doing everything you can to change your scenario. While over here, it looks like our owners are just happy to just let this happen. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man.
I think the last window, the two L's I'm already willing to accept is Aubameyang, which I was never keen on, and Koulibaly, who I'm shocked with how poor he's been. And that's because his age, and he's clearly not been able to get to the grips of the speed of the game, and he's been a lot more rash and aggressive and kind of immature in his defending than I thought he would have been. I thought he would have recognized that he's getting older and be more composed and be more relaxed and kind of standoffish and kind of assess situations a lot better than he has, like a Silva. But he hasn't been doing that. So for those two, because of their age and where we're trying to go, I can understand if they're L's, but I still have faith in Sterling. Cucurella has been going through some personal issues. That's just come out today as well. I think these players are still, very, very good footballers. And I think once we kind of clear, which we have to have a massive squad clear out, and we, bring the average age of the team down and start to become a better team on the eye to play, and hopefully the technical quality in the team's gone up. I think these two players can still revive, so to speak. So, yeah, man. I mean, the season's pretty much almost finished for us. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm ruling out top 4. I don't know about you. I'm ruling out top 4 personally. But yeah, I think in the future, hopefully things is looking bright. I've been watching you guys as well. And I watched your last game in particular, and you guys at last seemed a lot more boring, but in a good way. Like, the one thing you need when you're on bad form is just a 1-0, a clean sheet, and just to win a match. And you guys were like more there was a lot more structure. There was a lot more. It was a lot more compact. The midfield was wide open. You got a new Spanish young kid, which I'm sure you're going to bring up potentially. You look good, man. You look good. I'm impressed.
Yeah. No, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I think it was only like a month ago he turned 18, so he was playing in our team at 17 years old. And because obviously you got a couple of superstar young players that have come through recently. It is very impressive at that age when they actually can deal with the pressure. Like it's one thing to be able to maybe go to loan to like League One or something like that and do well on loan, where it's like a lot more of a lower level. But you come in and do it in the Premier League. Yeah, it is mighty impressive. So we're not going to put too much pressure on the kid, but he's looking good, man. He's looking good.
For me, if Klopp doesn't start him against us, I would be in a better mood if I see that you're going with your old tried and tested midfield. Because if he plays, I think he just gives you something different. Like he's got no mobility, he's press resistant. I think it's Bajetic. Is it Bajetic?
Basetic, I think is how you say it. Yeah, Basetic, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Basetic. He's Serbian but Spanish. You know what I mean? It's difficult. It's a tongue twister, but yeah, man, he looks serious. He really does look very serious.
He does, man. All right, let me hit a couple of these supers and then we'll get into the game. AA on, big up Jiff, and let's go. Darwin will eat Chelsea. I really do hope so. I think they said he should be ready, but it's a little touch and go. Big up Sean each and every time, bro. Says Cam's Inks to Arsenal on loan. We should be all over this. Klopp sticking up for FSG in the press conference again. Enough is enough now. I want change. Me and you both, buddy, and I think the majority of us. I mean, Arsenal are trying to do everything they can to maintain this title challenge they shouldn't even be having. And fair play to them for it, Like, if you're not going to be ambitious now when you're top of the league, there's no point ever being ambitious, really, is there? So, big up Maths, who says, Matisse, where would Liverpool be if we could spend 400 million?
I mean, you guys would be a lot higher up the table. I think the only thing I question with you guys is what's the plan recruitment-wise on your side as well, because you used to have Edwards, and then kind of now it seems like it's a little bit less secure and less of a sure thing than it used to be. Like Liverpool's recruitment when Edwards was in charge was like a surefire thing. Every guy that was coming in, it made sense. You could see the vision. Nunes for me is like really different to what I've seen you guys go with Jota, with Firmino, and then I've seen Gakpo come in as well. And I'm like, again, I'm not really excited by that. Like Diaz was a proper instant hit, and I'm saying obviously Gakpo is going to get his time, and I'm sure he's going to improve along the way. But he's not very. You don't gravitate to him. Like you look at him and you think, yeah, Klopp could probably get something out of him, but he's not someone that you look at and think, yeah, that's an instant bona fide, like a Suarez, like a good technical player that can dribble, like he just seems a bit basic at the moment. So obviously he's a good finisher. So I don't know with your recruitment, and obviously you've needed midfielders and you didn't address it in the summer. And when you look at some of the midfielders that were going about, like Enzo Fernandez, that seems like that seems like a player Liverpool would have saw when Edwards.
That's the player I want, bro.
That seems like but before he cost 100 mil, because I'm desperate for Enzo now, and our scouting's been poor. But that seems like the kind of player that an Edwards would have maybe like being able to get early, or it seems like a recruitment team at Liverpool. Before he cost 100 million, Liverpool would have got him for 15, 20. Same with maybe Casado. It seems like you guys have maybe lost a step in terms of being ahead of the curve almost with some of these players that you're bringing in, and then now you're going to get charged God knows how much for Bellingham, etc. So I don't know, man. It feels a bit mad.
I mean, I think he went. Was it 7.5 million? Went Benfica for?
Yeah, I think it was like 10 million, something like that, max.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you've even got what's his name? Who we've been linked with as well? Cover, the left winger for Napoli. He went to Napoli for less than 10 million. Another player that we should have been all over. We were linked with before. Yeah, I mean, Julian Ward is the guy who took over. I don't really think Julian Ward wants the job based on the fact he's leaving already, and he hasn't even been in the job for a full year and he's already leaving. Fair play to him. He pulled off Gakpo and he pulled off Nunes. But I don't know. I do think we've gone a little bit weird in that department, but only time will tell. But yeah, so let's get on to this game then, bruv. I mean, again, both teams are coming off of like really poor form. I think you've won 1 in 3 and we've won 1 in 3 or something like that in the league. Is that what it is? Is it one game? You won your last game, but lost.
We won our last game against Palace. Yeah, I don't remember a win for a while. Since the win before that may have been Bournemouth at a push. Yeah, it would have been Bournemouth before that, which was the first game back from the World Cup. So it's been a while. It's been a while, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but Brentford and Brighton, I don't even want to relive that, bro. I mean,
I've been watching your games, man. You guys are, you guys have been in the trenches with us, man. It's mad.
It is, bro. So going into this game, what should we? And I don't even mean this sarcastically or what should we fear from Chelsea coming to Anfield this weekend?
The unknown quantity, which is Mudryk, because he's the only person that I can say I don't know what to expect. Do you know what I mean? He could provide something out of nothing. He could have a great debut. He could cause Trent maybe some problems dribbling wise, and it'll be interesting to see that battle. But in terms of nothing, you don't really have anything to be worried about. If I'm completely honest, like you're up against a team that have been really, really poor. João Felix looks like a little glimmer of hope, and then he's suspended. Ziyech had a arguably man of match display against Palace along with Kepa, but that doesn't mean that I'm now expecting Ziyech to drop another masterclass afterwards. It's just a we'll see what happens situation. Mount's not in great form. Kai, yes, he scored against Palace, but he missed a catalogue of chances as well. So there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be worried about. You just have to you just have to worry about yourselves almost. You guys will be your biggest enemies in this match. If you make individual errors, if Klopp maybe picks exactly the same midfield, he reverts back to the old guys and he doesn't put some legs in there. If Nunes is chaotic in his finishing and he's moving mad, you guys will be your own worst enemies. And you're also looking a bit mad as well defensively, as well as we are looking mad all over the pitch. So are you. So both these teams, there's nothing to worry about at all from either side, really.
What worries me about that, bro, is Liverpool do kind of normally raise their game for the bigger games, but will they get complacent thinking Chelsea's in poor form? That's what I'm hoping doesn't
Surely
happen.
not. I mean, Liverpool in such poor form, they can't be complacent, surely.
Bro, I don't know. I honestly don't know what we're doing this season, if I'm being honest, because the crazy thing is, if you look at the fact that Mane left, which was obviously a massive blow for us, and he was playing really well towards the end of the season as well.
Yeah.
But it was the players like Minamino and Origi and little things like that. I think last season went underrated for a lot of people, and they didn't realize, like, between Origi and Minamino, they chipped in with something like 15 goal contributions in the games they played. Now, bearing in mind, they played a lot more cup games, but that's 15 goals that you can do with when you're getting a 1-1 or you're losing 1-0. Or do you get what I mean? Like Minamino or Origi off the bench can just change things. And it's done it on many occasions for us in the past. And they did it last year. It's why we went on a cup run. We're out of the League Cup already because we didn't have those little extra players we could call on. So I don't really know whether we aren't being complacent or whether I don't know. I genuinely couldn't tell you why losing Mane and the few players I mentioned has been so dramatic that now even other than the fact that maybe our midfielders are just ran into the ground. Maybe that's what it is. And as you touched on before, which we'll get into the lineups, I do hope he goes with a fresher midfield, because midfield is kind of a problem for you guys as well. And if we go old midfield versus old midfield, who knows what could happen? But if we put some youthfulness in there, we might be able to overrun you. Do you get what I mean?
Same for us. I'm hoping that we put some youth in there. I mean, Lewis Hall is there.
He looks good.
He is a midfielder. Obviously, he's been playing left back, but he is a midfielder by trade. So he has a very good opportunity to put him in potentially. I don't think he's going to do it because we do have Jorginho available, Cover available, Mount, Gallagher, a lot more experience. But nobody is playing at a level where you could say that their place is not up for grabs in that midfield. So for me, Lewis Hall should be a shoe-in for potentially going into midfield if we're going to play Cucurella at left back, who's been missing for the last couple of games. He's benched him. So it's literally the same thing you're calling for. We have very similar issues. Both of our midfields are imbalanced. Both of our midfields are aging. Both of our midfields are injury prone. Both of our midfields could do with minimum two players. I think you guys could do with a new DM. Maybe this new, maybe this new Spanish wonder kid could be that DM, but you probably want more experience in there just in case, not to have him playing every single match. And then on top of that, you'd probably need a box to box or some sort of, because I think Elliot and Carvalho is what you're looking to for creativity in terms of their potential. So then box to box is obviously Bellingham. That's been your target, the kind of the engine in midfield. And us, we're looking for more of a creator in midfield. Enzo Fernandez would have been perfect for that, and a 6 as well, a sitter. You only have to look at Casemiro and what he's done for Manchester United, Rodri, what he does for City, Partey, what he does for Arsenal, what Fabinho was doing for you prior to the last calendar year. And as soon as Fabinho has dropped off, suddenly the whole thing's collapsed, because now you've lost that kind of pillar in your team, that foundation to build from. And it's now exposed your centre-backs more, who I think have been really poor positionally and making errors individually. And we've seen it in Brentford and Brighton, but also because they don't have that 6 in front of them to shield properly. So we've both got very similar issues, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, it actually is. I mean, so if I asked you because I don't want to be pretentious and be like, oh, you should worry about this, you should worry about this. Like, who would you be worried about from our team based on poor form, good form, whatever you may like? Who are you thinking, oh, we got to keep an eye on that guy?
I think historically we always have to keep an eye on Salah, considering left back right now is not our strong position. I know Salah's not in the best of form, but he's still a threat. Do you know what I mean? He's still a problem. If he wants to turn it on, then he can on any given day, and he does score a lot of goals against us. So Salah's an immediate one to just keep an eye on regardless. And then I'm thinking Trent as well, his delivery. Our main creator is Reece James, right back. Your main creator is Trent, right back. He's available, ours isn't. And again, that left-hand side for us right now is a bit of a techie situation. Lewis Hall's really, really good, and I'm very impressed with him. But at the same time, he's still not playing in his natural position. He could still be caught out potentially. And that is where I see your Trent, kind of that cross-field ball is what I'm looking out for, because his passing range is mad. So that's kind of the side that I'm thinking of right now. The other side, Gakpo, right now he hasn't looked great. He's obviously early days. He's been playing up front. I think he's a left winger. I think it's very clear to see that he's a little bit uncomfortable up front, despite what happened at the World Cup. So the quicker you guys move him back to the left flank, I think the better. And yeah, I think for me it's Trent, and Salah's not being great, but like I said, Salah by default you have to watch him.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I mean, just quickly on the Reece James thing, are you lot worried about him now in terms of the fact that he does seem to just miss a lot of games on a regular basis?
Yeah, no, we have to be worried, man, because this is one of our best players, and he is becoming very susceptible to injuries. And I don't know what it is, it's like he's very young. So I'm hoping that this is just teething phases, and as he gets older, he's gonna get through those struggles and kind of balance it out and find some consistency fitness wise. I remember we had Iron Robin, completely different position, but when he was at Chelsea, he was quite injury prone in his younger years, and then when he went to Bayern, he seemed to kind of calm that down a bit and be a little bit more consistent. What they feed their players at Bayern, I have no idea, because everybody that goes over there ends up becoming a tank. But yeah, Chilwell as well, like they said in the comments, another injury-prone player as well, susceptible to injuries, at least you could say. There's just so many players in our squad, bro. Kante, Kova, Pulisic, Ziyech is susceptible to injuries. Like, honestly, in terms of who is susceptible to injuries, I could almost name an 11. It's close. It's mad. So I hope, but that's all I can do is hope with him, because it is becoming a little bit repetitive, and we need to get a right back because we can't rely upon him to stay fit at the moment.
Yeah, nah, fair dues, man. He is a good player still. I must admit, he's one of the players I'm glad isn't playing if he's not when we're playing you guys, because he's always that constant threat. All right, so let's do this then, bro. Let's go through. I mean, I'll start with. There's no point doing goalkeepers because it will be Alisson and Kepa, won't it? Like, so there's no point doing that. So
100%.
I think it will be Trent at right back. I think it will be Ibu and Gomez at centre back, and it will be Robertson at left back in a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
So what would you say your back four is going to be? What do you think your back four will be for this one?
I think it has to be Trevor at right back, Silva and Badashili at centre back, no Koulibaly, no Aspilicueta, and then left back, I would put Cucurella in there purely because he's a left back by trade, and it's Salah out there. So, Hall is naturally a midfielder. So I think it's time to, I think it's time for Cucurella to step up now. And the only reason why I'm kind of also maybe hesitant on saying that actually is because he is going through personal issues. I just saw a tweet earlier today. Can't remember the report, but maybe he's having some personal problems. So actually, maybe we do have to kind of stick with Lewis Hall. Maybe Cucurella is not in the right frame of mind to play. Can't remember what the problem is. I think it's family or something like that. So it might have to be Lewis Hall that actually starts. And that's probably why Cucurella is not playing at the moment. I think Matip has got a knock, hasn't he? That's what a lot of people are saying. Well,
it's touch and go with Matip. Yeah, our club always hide whether it's injuries or not. But there's a part of me that thinks that the bad game that he had against Wolves might have actually swayed Klopp in wanting to play Gomez.
Yeah.
So there's no confirmation on whether it's a knock with Matip or not, but I still think he'll go Gomez. I do. I could be wrong. If Matip's fit, he could play him. And Matip usually is brilliant, but that Wolves game, Matip was all over the place. I don't know if it was an injury, a slight knock or what, but he weren't himself in that game. So if Matip played, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think he'll go with Gomez, considering Gomez had a good game in the last game. Like, I wouldn't change a partnership who had a good game when you're in poor form. It's a bit weird. So I'm hoping that's what Klopp does. I know a lot of people in the chat are going to disagree because they don't like Joey. Joey's starting to lose a lot of love.
Oh, is he?
Family. Yeah. Never for me though. That's my guy.
He suffered with a lot of injuries, man. I remember he had a great performance at the Etihad as well this season with Van Dijk. But I remember when he was playing in your title-winning season, and he was solid. He was proper, but he just picked up too many injuries, and now it's like they're catching up to him, and he's going to start regressing and being inconsistent. And obviously, what happened against Brighton with Danny Welbeck was madness. Do you know what I mean? Just crazy.
Oof, yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough for him.
All right, so moving into midfield. Yeah, Jesus. This is gonna be interesting. I'll let you go first on this one, bro. Who do you think's gonna play in your midfield?
Oh God, man. If I'm going with who I expect to see, then Jorginho, I expect to see Kova, and I expect to see Mason Mount. I think it's a bit maybe hard done on Gallagher, who had a good performance against Palace. Zakaria, I think, is out. Lewis Hall, I would like to see in midfield, but I think he'll have to play left back. So there's no Kante. So yeah, I think it's between those guys. Carney, again, I think he's actually fit. I think he's fine, but again, I highly doubt he's going to start. I think he'll be on the bench. So he didn't. Last time he played, I think he played. We didn't really see too much from him, to be honest. When he started the last match, I think he didn't really do too much. So him and Mount had kind of quiet days. So yeah, I think it'll be between those guys.
And I'm guessing that's the midfield that you don't like, because that's the aging, not playing well kind of midfield.
Cover's been poor. He did have injuries before the World Cup, which is kind of making allowances for. And then it's like now his passing has really, really started to be poor, giving the ball away cheaply, not really showing any vision. And then Jorginho is obviously a liability from an athleticism standpoint, but to be fair to him, recently he's had a couple of really good games. I think maybe one, maybe two, where he's led in like recoveries and he's put himself about. But again, it's not a long-term solution at that position. So he still, for me, needs to go in the summer. Mount's been very, very, very poor. You know, Gallagher, decent performance against Palace, but in general, not too much. So, but sometimes out of position he's been played. So yeah, the midfield is aging with Cover, and I mean Cover's not old. It's just Cover's receptible to injury, so you can't really rely upon him. And Jorginho, he plays like he's really old. So you know, it's just long. Yeah, it's just long.
Yeah, I think Cover might also have a little bit of that issue that Fabinho has, where it ain't really about the age; it's about the miles.
Yeah, maybe.
If you look at his Real Madrid career and his Chelsea career, he does the most running. He's always the one doing the most running. Eventually, it does kind of catch up to you. Do you know what I mean? So it could be that. It could be that because Cover's a good player in his day. I do rate Cover. He is actually a very good player. I mean, he always plays well against us. Always plays well against
him and Kante, people are saying that they're the ones that always perform against Liverpool.
Always, bruv, always. Even if he's in bad form, and he was always there's been so many games there he wasn't available, and then they say he's gonna miss the game, and then I'm looking at starting lineup. I'm like, so why's Kovacic playing? I thought they said he weren't gonna make.
He scored against you at the Bridge, didn't he, last season? Bang.
It's a good, good goal as well. Still, so you don't think that what's his name will play Zakaria? You don't think Zakaria?
I don't think he's available.
Oh, is he injured? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's injured as well. Yeah, he's actually out for a month. So he's definitely not available. Yeah,
he was playing well. That's a blow.
He was at least bringing something different. I think there were moments where I would say there's area like the most recent performance at Manchester City, I think, was his best performance. He was really, really brave on the ball, really, really good. Some of his performances, I think, sometimes have been a little bit overhyped or overgassed purely because of the traits that he has we lack in midfield, like the PNP. So people were almost overly excited about seeing him do the basics, you know, of what we never showed. But against Man City, he was really good. But he's out for a month, so he's not involved. So yeah, it's a madness in that midfield, bro. The midfields are just diabolical. What's yours? I'm interested to see if you're gonna, because Klopp threw out a pretty fresh midfield in midweek without some of the big names.
Yeah, see, so this is the thing. You can't second guess Klopp. That's one thing that we always try and do, and you just can't when it comes to will he do something different. That was a cup game, so it was important.
Yeah.
But I think he also looked at the fact that it was Wolves. And without being disrespectful, we should have beat Wolves the first time around. It shouldn't even have gone to a replay. We should have just been better than we were. But we got the job
You're
done.
Lucky in the end, that goal that should have stood.
Yeah.
I thought
I know. It swings and roundabouts. Arsenal wouldn't be so far ahead because they wouldn't have beat us with their offside goal that we got skanked, you know what I mean, with the VAR. It swings and roundabouts. I didn't hear any Arsenal fans talking about that when they were trying to cuss us for the Wolves one. Short memories and all that. Short memories. I hope that he goes Besetic at the base of the midfield, and then he goes advanced 8 Naby on the right, and more protective, creative 8 on the left, Thiago.
Same midfield.
Yeah, I really hope that he goes with that. That midfield keeps the ball well. That midfield can cope with the technical ability of your midfield, because your midfield is very technical. It's not very athletic, but it's very technical. I know a lot of people don't really rate Mount. I actually think Mount is a good player. I think he's just going through poor form. I think he gets a lot of bad stick, and he's had a lot of pressure.
You've been linked with him,
bro. I think Klopp would actually turn him into a better player.
Klopp would.
Honestly, like I find it very strange that he gets the amount of hate that he gets. He's not that kind of like, he's not that sexy player in it. So it's easy to like start like, you know, putting him down, whatever. I think with the right management, I think he would ball out. I do rate Mount.
He does suit Klopp a lot.
Yeah, he does. He's that pressing machine. He's got the energy. I think Klopp would utilize him really well. I honestly do. Me and Callum have actually spoke about this off camera, and he agrees. Like, I actually think that Klopp would do well with him.
Yeah.
So I think we've got to have a midfield that's technical to be in there with yours, because you're a technical midfield. Because as unathletic as our usual midfield is, you'll be able to pass around us too easy. So I worry if he goes Flacco, Hendo, and Thiago, your technical midfielders would be able to pass around it. And do you know what I mean? And they wouldn't even need to run past us. They'll just pass around us. Because you've done that to us in the past with that same midfield. Jorginho and Cover can just pass around us. Do you know what I mean? I don't want us to get out passed or out techniqued or whatever you call it.
I hear it.
So I think Basetic and Naby do bring energy as well. Which
Naby was good midweek. Yeah,
he was good in midweek. So I'm hoping he sticks with the Wolves midfield, but I am worried that one of, if not both, of Henderson or Flacco will be brought in because it's a big game. Because Klopp does like to go to his reliables. Henderson is the captain, and I don't have a problem when Henderson plays. I just want to see that midfield again against Wolves because I want to see if that can progress and become better. Yeah. So that will be what I'm disappointed in if he does. Or if he plays Elliot in the 8. I don't want him to do that because sometimes he does that as well. He plays Elliot in the 8.
Elliot doesn't give you defensively. He doesn't give you enough.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. So I don't want to see.
For me, Elliot, I know he played Elliot off the. He played Elliot off the flank.
Off the right. Yeah. He played him on the right.
I don't even think he's a winger. I remember people saying he's a 10, isn't he? I mean, he's got to kind of be in that 10 role because he's not really a winger. But you would probably prefer him out there over having him in the 8. But he looks like he has to be in the 10.
You know the crazy.
And Carvalho looks like a 10 as well. So like you got a couple of.
Because Bobby's a 10 as well. We got a lot of 10s and we don't even play a 10.
We don't even play a 10.
The problem. The weird thing is, I think Elliot in a 10 would actually. I'm sorry, Elliot in an 8 and an advanced 8 on the right hand side would actually work really well.
Odegaard role.
Yeah, if he had 2 brilliant destroyers with him in the midfield, so his defensive work wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, like if we had like Caicedo and Tchouaméni, and then he was playing in that position, nobody would be bothered at all because they would do all the legwork and he would be able to create. But because we've got Hendo and Flack on players who are losing their legs and don't have the energy anymore, he's been asked to do a lot of defending and he's not good at defending, bro. And then he just gets lost in transitions. He gets lost in the flow of the game. And then he ends up being a bit of a hindrance, to be honest. So, and I feel sad for him. I really do. He's another young kid. So I don't want us playing him in the 8 unless we bring in a couple of destroyers where he's more playing, like you said, in the older guy role where he doesn't have to really do much because Elliot can press. He just can't defend. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's the issue with him. And I'm going to be very intrigued to see who you put up front in the front 3 now, bro. So I'll let you go. Actually, no, you went first before, so I'll be fair. I'll go first again. I think the front 3 kind of speaks for itself if everybody's fit. And I think it will be Salah on the right, Nunes down the middle, and Gakpo on the left. If everybody is fit, if Nunes does make it, I think that's what it will be. The only tweak I can imagine would possibly be Salah down the middle and Elliot on the right if Nunes wasn't available, which I could see Klopp maybe doing. I don't like it, but I could imagine him maybe doing it. We play Salah up front for large portions of the City game, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did it against you guys. Or I think that's the only way he would make a change. I think if Nunes wasn't fully fit. Other than that, I'm sure that's who we'll go with. Who do you think would be your front line?
I'm going to go with Mudryk. I mean, look, Mudryk hasn't played since late November. So I'm throwing him in there purely because I want to see what he does. And I'm excited to see someone new. But in terms of, is he ready? That's down to, the medicals and the staff and whatnot. Potter said he would play a part, but not the full 90. So I don't know if that means start and then come off at 60 or come off the bench. Probably means come off the bench, but I'm just going to just throw him in there anyway. Right wing, if you're talking about playing an actual right wing on the right wing, then you would go Ziyech. And purely because, at least he had a good game against Palace, really good game. So kind of just see if he can follow that up, even though he's not part of the long-term plan. And then up front, I think you have no choice but to go with Kai Havertz, purely because Fofana throwing him in at Anfield is probably too much. Aubameyang is not going to do enough work, not going to get through enough work up there. And Kai Havertz, at least, you could say he scored at Anfield last season. Maybe he can follow up with a goal like he scored against Palace. But again, very hit and miss. So it's not a very confident attack that I'm going with, but it is an attack that really, once Felix is back from suspension, we got a new kid from PSV now, and Cuckoo's coming in the summer. This attack won't look like this for very long. These guys are kind of I don't even think they're even on their last chance for some of them, because there is no more chances really. This is just go out there and play in it, because once we get our team fully flipped, you're not going to be here, some of you. So it's mad.
Yeah, I heard you got over 30 players now in your squad. You're gonna have to do quite a lot of
10 of them are injured though, so that's why it's okay at the moment. But when they come back to fitness, it's going to be mad.
Yeah. That front, do you know what's crazy? This is, I know, like, you always kind of have like that fear going into the game, no matter what the form of the opposition is. I still hear names like Ziyech and Havertz and Mount, and I know they can do something. So even though they're not in the best form, I'm still always skeptical of, like, will this be the game they find their form? Is this going to be when they come back and all that? And you know, Havertz, for some reason, he's another one of those players who, like, when you least expect it, he comes up with a big performance. So I'm hoping it's not against Liverpool. Ziyech proved at the World Cup he is a good player. Yeah. How's he been since he come back from the World Cup, actually? I haven't actually been paying attention.
Non-existent, to be honest, because he's not really been selected. He's had a couple of games. He played a good game away from home to City that was before the World Cup, I think. So he's played that Palace game. That's all I can remember from him, to be honest. He hasn't really been playing too often. So yeah, nothing crazy from him. He's not part of Potter's plans, regardless of the World Cup. That has only just given him a market value, hopefully, to sell him. But he's not part of the plans. So yeah, he ain't.
I hear that. So, bro, let's finish off with a little score prediction. Is it going to be giving it away? Because I know you got the big six.
No, we'll go for it. Yeah, we'll go for it.
Okay, yeah. So give me a score prediction for this game, bro.
I'm going to go with my head. Right, with my heart, I've been saying 2-1 a few times. But if I'm giving you a serious score prediction, what I'm going to give on the big six, I'm going to go 1-1.
Ooh, okay. I really don't know, bro. If I'm being honest, like,
I said 2-1. You're right, Indian Scouser. I've said 2-1 because part of me wants to just say, right, you're poor, I'm poor, so let's just fight it out, and hopefully we just come out on top. I can see us getting a win. I don't know how, but I can see you getting a win. I don't know how. You know what I mean? So it's such a messed up game because no one's playing well. Both teams can kind of win, but at the same time, neither team can defend, neither team can attack, neither team can transition properly. So it's like, it's just got a draw written all over it then, hasn't it? But any result would not surprise me. If you were to slap us, I wouldn't be surprised. The way you guys have been conceding goals, I wouldn't be surprised. But then we can't shoot. So I don't know.
You know what I'm gonna do then, bro? I'm gonna remain the host and I'm gonna cheat a little bit. And I'm gonna bring in somebody. I'm gonna bring in somebody who's gonna talk for me though. He's gonna talk on my behalf.
Okay. Hey.
What's going on, Jim?
Back again, Matisse.
My brother, come on.
So I'm just the host now, bro. I'm just the host now. So Cal, score prediction for the game, bro. What do you say?
Oh, so you brought me in at a rough time. That's why you
Yeah, bro. You know.
Well, I say yes. I said a dirty 2-2 in it. Just
really, a dirty 2-2.
Yeah, a dirty 2-2. So like for the neutrals, gonna be brilliant. For Liverpool and Chelsea fans, it's going to be horrible.
Who do you think will get these goals? That's the thing. Like for us, who's going to get these goals, bro? These goals that you're talking about, who's scoring them?
Wolves got 3 against us, Matisse. True. Like, and they don't even score goals, bro.
Right, yeah, so. True.
I think Salah will get a brace, and for you guys, I reckon you'll get one from a set piece. So one of your defenders, maybe. Okay, and then. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Havertz scored tomorrow. He's got a decent record against us, or plays decent against us, should I say?
Yeah, he has played decent against you. To be fair, cup finals and
2-2, just a dirty game though. Like we're gonna, one of them games where everything that's been going bad for you in the season happens in 90 minutes. I think that's gonna happen for.
I hope it's a thriller, man. Do you know what I mean? Like our seasons are in tatters at the moment. You guys have got Real Madrid. Luckily, they're not having the best of times at the moment. I've been watching them. They've been a bit poor. We got Dortmund. Like our seasons are hanging by a thread. I know you go in FA Cup as well, but what we've been witnessing, I just hope for carnage and chaos, man. If it's gonna be if it's gonna be that, let it be a 4-4 or something. Let it be a high scoring game. Give us goals, give us excitement. Because I say I'm not gonna get angry if we lose, but I'm sure I will in it. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'm at a point now where I've accepted what's going on, so you may as well give us some entertainment. Do you know what I mean?
You're speaking as someone who knows the future's bright. That's why, Matisse, I don't want a thriller.
Yeah, true.
I'd love a boring 2-0 win to Liverpool. You know those games back in 1920 where we used to shut out games 2-0? That's what I want to go back to. Thrillers and all that. I don't. I'm getting old now, bro. I don't need it. Like, if I want a thriller, I'll go to Alton Towers, bro.
Yeah, go.
I'm done with it now.
Yo, man said he's gonna go to an amusement park.
I'm done with it.
It's true, bro. I miss them boring 1-0s and 2-0s. I actually missed that badly, man. Oh man, but I'm sure they already know where to find you, Matisse. But let them know where they can find you. The link will obviously be in the description. Cal put the link in the chat as well.
It's in the chat as well, yeah.
So make sure you guys go on and show your love. But yeah, let the people know where they can find you, bro.
For me, MAH on YouTube. Loads of content coming out at the moment. Doing loads of watch-alongs as well. Watching all the big games. I was actually going to do Bayern versus Leipzig tonight. That's how mad I am in the trenches. I'm a proper football man now. You know what I mean?
You're putting in work, bro.
I'm watching everything.
You're putting in that work, bro.
Yeah. So we were gonna watch it, but I got Big Six, so it's gonna overlap. So, but yeah, usually I would be watching that, and I'm top 5 leagues now. I'm involved. Do you know what I mean? I'm enjoying my European football, my Premier League football. I have to find happiness somewhere because every time my team plays, my life expectancy drops dramatically. So yeah, it's mad.
You're gonna be getting a sensu bean in the summertime though, brother. I don't know what we're doing. Man. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, bro. Obviously, it will not be the last time.
100%.
You know, we're gonna have to make sure we just stop them schedules from messing about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as always, guys, make sure you go and show your love to Matisse. Make sure you go and subscribe. Like the video as well, guys. Big up to everyone who jumped in. And we will be back at 8:30 for the call-in show, guys. So don't worry. We will be back and we'll be chopping up all of the other crazy stuff we have to talk about with Liverpool. Rinse and repeat all these same rumors that are floating around and all that. And obviously you guys get to have your say. So I don't wish you luck for tomorrow, but I wish you luck for the rest of time. Big up your damn self.
I don't. I mean? Sorry, Matisse. Love always, bro.
Callum's gonna say.
No, I'm talking about Matisse as Matisse, not Chelsea. Yeah.
All of God's grace and blessing.
Callum's like, no, fuck you, fuck your team, fuck everything, bro.
No, Matisse the person, all the success in the world, all this, but the team, no, man.
Big up, Callum, man. Big up.
Yeah. We know the Chelsea rivalry. And you know what? The Matisse situation is like the Turkish situation. It's like the KG. So like, I love you guys. I hate the teams you support.
Facts.
Can you not support different clubs? Like, it gets on my nerves, bro. Like, no, honestly, it gets on my nerves. Like, it, you know what I mean? It grinds on me, man. You lot, just jump on the Liverpool thing, bro.
No,
bro. No one will remember. We'll get rid of all the evidence, bro. No one will remember, bro. We'll get rid of it.
How are you going to do that? Do you know how much hours of content is out there?
We'll edit out, man. YouTube have got their thing, man.
You going to go to Twitter as well? You be there for a while. Be there for a while.
Before thanks for reminding me, bro. I totally forgot. We've got a couple of supers before you go as well. Big up over the supers. Messi FC says, we are both crap. Can we do a combined crap 11? If the game's a draw, maybe we can do that afterwards or something. Yeah. Or like, you put all the players in who's the reason why the game was so boring. We might be able to do that still. To hear, big up, says Liverpool third in profit making. Let's get a trophy for being sustainable. BS. No investment in this team. The team is devastated with injuries. And to be fair, as we was talking about, Matisse, so's yours. But at least your owners are trying to do something about it. That's the whole different thing. But very, very true to hear. And Will Flex, big up yourself, says, if we don't start the same midfield, Jorginho will tear us apart because nobody can press him. That's what we're saying as well. Would you guys accept an Elliott Mount swap? No, I wouldn't accept the swap because I think Elliott has a ceiling. But Cal, I was letting the guys know, you and me have discussed, Mount's a good player and I think Klopp would actually do wonders with him. I actually do think he would do well with him.
So I've had to mute it a little bit because the kids have decided that they're going to make now their playtime for whatever reason.
That's cool.
I like Mount, but we'll have to discuss that in detail. I would have him, but there's a caveat to it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We'll finish that off on the Friday call-in then. We'll do it behind Matisse's back, so it's not like. You know, Imran, this is an inside joke. Big up, Imran. I see you, brother. I see you.
Listen, I'm telling you.
But no, it's a pleasure as always, Matisse. Big up yourself, and obviously we'll talk again soon, man. People, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you are back at 8:30 for the call-in show, and make sure you go and show your love and subscribe and follow Matisse each and every time, man. Until 8:30, big up yourselves, everyone. We are out. Peace.